Joining us now, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson is with us. First, in your home state, somebody believed to have been a part of October 7th arrested today?
Yeah, it's really something. We know that a lot of dangerous people came over that border in the 4 years under the Biden administration. We think maybe as many as 20 million illegal aliens came in. And we know a lot of dangerous people, and they've been fanned out, spread out across the country, Sean. So this is something that we know is out there. We just don't know exactly where all of them are. A hat tip to ICE. They have been doing an extraordinary job trying to round up all these dangerous folks. But it is alarming when they capture one literally in your own backyard, in your home state or a home community, one that you represent. I'm grateful they're doing that hard work. A lot more of it yet to be done.
The left has come after you all day today because you call these rallies Hate America rallies. And, you know, I just played just a small smidgen, and we could put more video up on the screen of some of the incidents that occurred over the weekend. I didn't see a lot of love in the room, but I want you to comment on that part because you're not backing down from your comments, one. And number two, what is the point of this, and why won't one Democrat, not one, speak out against these people? I played all that rhetoric.
Yeah, Sean, look, we're seeing a moment of real clarity. The American people can see exactly what is going on right here. These rallies we described as the Hate America rallies because there is no better description. Look at who was involved. Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats went out there to participate. They stood arm in arm, side by side, with some of the most radical groups that have ever assembled on U.S. soil. They openly advertised that they were co-sponsored. They were Soros-funded, and they were co-sponsored by the Communist Party USA, the Young Communist League of New York, and all the other radical groups. They're out there championing that issue. Now, listen to these people's own language, Sean, what they stand for. It is completely the opposite of what America was founded upon. They don't like living here. They don't like capitalism or the free enterprise system. They don't like the founding principles of the country, individual freedom and limited government and the rule of law and peace through strength and fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity. They're against all of that. And they go out and they put out these radical messages, violent messages. They want to call for the murder of a president who's already survived 2 failed assassination attempts, and they're mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. These people can be evaluated and judged on their own actions, and I think everybody in the country can see exactly what's going on here.
Okay, the Schumer shutdown continues. There doesn't seem to be any end in sight, and I think this is the main reason Democrats won't condemn the rhetoric that we played on the show tonight, is because that is the Democratic Party, and leaders in name only like Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries know it, and they wouldn't dare go against it because they care more about their power than they do about standing up for what's right. You know, the only Democrat that has any honor and dignity and intellectual honesty seems to be John Fetterman. Thoughts?
You hit the nail right on the head. That's exactly what it is. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries serve from the state of New York. Marxism is all the rage in New York City, as you've seen, and they're afraid they're going to get a challenge from their far left. Mamdani has disciples on the city council. Hakeem Jeffries is drawing a challenge, apparently, from one of those. And Chuck Schumer's afraid that AOC is going to run against him. So they've dug their heels in. They're doing what they know to be wrong. And this is a very important, speaking of the contrast, the House Republicans over a month ago passed, as you said, a clean, nonpartisan CR. Just keep the lights on, keep the government operating so troops can be paid and Border Patrol agents and veterans can get their services and young pregnant women can get all the services they need. They shut it down. They voted 12 times now. And their counterproposal, Sean, as you and I have discussed, is a dirty CR, not a clean one. It's the opposite. They want to spend $1.5 trillion new dollars. They want to give $200 billion of American taxpayer funds to illegal aliens and benefits. They want to give $500 million to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to prop up leftist news organizations. And they want to send billions of dollars overseas for wasteful foreign spending. We're not doing that. They know we're not doing that. And this is the first time in history that any party has shut the government down over a clean, nonpartisan CR. They do not care. They're afraid of that base, and that's why all this is happening right now.
Do you see an end in sight, and do you believe the incendiary rhetoric, either by their base that's not being condemned or by some of them themselves, do you believe it's created an atmosphere that what I call assassination culture? You heard one guy talking about shooting ICE agents in that tape that we played.
Yeah, it's a heightened threat environment. They are spurring on this action. There are deranged people in society. When they hear leaders talking like that, it sparks action, and that's the dangerous thing. They need to call it out. They need to do a reverse 180 on all this, and we're hoping that there's just a handful. We just need 5 centrist, common sense people on the Democrat side in the Senate to do the right thing and reopen the government so that the American people are not used as pawns in this game. They are hurting real people.
All right, Speaker Johnson, we appreciate you being with us tonight. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.